Awesome. It is good to see all of you. Because we are kind of new to the schedule. We only had 2 days with it last week, and we are coming back from a break. I wanted to start this morning by going over our schedule to help you remember some of those changes. So I will share the screen with you that has that schedule. Looking at Dino, a lot of you did a really good job of remembering from 8 to 8:30, you are supposed to be on Lexia. Right now, we are supposed to be on Zoom. We're going to do our social emotional learning, and then we're going to do our English language arts lesson. I have 14 of you here, so that's pretty good. I have 20 of you, so 6 of you, if you're watching this recording, we miss you. At 9:45 to 10, that's going to be your break, your screen break. Give your eyes a rest, get a drink of water, get some snacks, go to the restroom, whatever it is that you need to do at 9:45. At 10 o'clock, you are going to start working on your English language arts assignments. So that includes your assignment on Seesaw. If you have extra time, you're going to work on Lexia or Mayan. And then hopefully this week, I'm going to share something with you about Google Classroom with an extra assignment. But for now, you know that you have your reading log on there as well that could be worked on. 10:45 to 12 is your lunch and recess time. Our lunch is earlier than it used to be. 10:45 is our new lunch time. At 12 o'clock, you log back onto Zoom for STEM, and we will have our STEM lesson at 12 o'clock. At 12:45, that is 2 things at once. First thing is your STEM work time. That's when you're working on completing those science, technology, engineering, and math assignments. That is also when I hold my office hour. So if you need help on any assignments or have questions, I'm available then. At 1:35 to 2:20, you have related arts. Today, your related arts is Miss Katowitz. And good news is it'll be Miss Katowitz all week. We won't have that funky switch midweek. So Miss Katowitz with computer science will be Monday through Friday. At 2:20, you'll log back in for our end of day announcements, and that's on Zoom. And at 2:30, you could begin working on your reading log, which is your only homework for me, as you know. So again, this is our schedule. This has been posted in several locations. You can find it in Seesaw inside of your login and resources folder right here. And that has been posted as its own individual item here. And also you can find it inside of our Bitmoji classroom under Children's Day. If you go to our home page, there's also a shortened version of it here. And you can see if it's red, you're supposed to be logged into Zoom. Okay, so that is our schedule. In terms of Mrs. Katowitz today, in your related arts folder, I have placed an announcement that you are going to computer science for the next 5 days. When I went to computer science earlier today, there was no activity yet for you there. I have already emailed Ms. Katowitz to figure that out, and I will keep you posted. But I bet she's going to have it posted by the time we have class because she's awesome like that. So make sure at 1:35 you go to that related arts folder to remind yourself that you are going to computer science. Okay. All right. Any quick questions over our schedule? Anything you want to know? Anything you wanted to comment on? Anything at all? Y'all good? Awesome. Yay. All right, kiddos. Then let's go ahead and get started with our social emotional learning lesson. We are going to continue on with second steps. We are on lesson 11. We are over halfway completed with our second steps unit for the 3rd grade year. So let's keep chugging on. Today we are going to talk about what to do when you are experiencing a nervous or anxious emotion. When you're feeling worked up and nervous or anxious, we're going to talk about that today and learn about a friend of ours who is experiencing those emotions. So without further ado, here we go. Allow me to share my sound. Today, we're going to continue on with our Second Steps program by looking at Unit 3, Lesson 11. So far, we've learned how to be better learners and how to have empathy and show compassion to help you get along with others. Today, we're going to learn more about feelings. We're going to find out what happens in our brain and body when we feel strong feelings, and how to notice the feelings. You need your brain for this lesson, so get ready to think. Today, you'll hear a story about a time that a boy had a very strong feeling. I invite you to think about times that you've had strong feelings as well. This is Mateo. He is about to take a big, long math test. Think about how Mateo feels. Turn and tell your partner your ideas. All right, how is Mateo feeling here? What do we see? What do we notice? How might he be feeling? Go ahead and unmute if you have an idea.
Because Mateo feels nervous.
How do you know?
Because I see that his face shows like a nervous point by his lips, because I looked at his eyes and his lips, so I figured out that he was nervous.
Yeah, those eyes are wide and open. Those lips are kind of tight and slightly open too, like, you can kind of tell there. Great clues. What more? Any other emotion words or feeling words that Mateo might be experiencing? Terrence?
He doesn't want to do it because he's nervous too.
Yeah, he might be feeling kind of like begrudging. He doesn't really want to do this. It's not his choice of behavior. So he might be kind of dreading it. Doesn't want to participate in that task. Yeah, what more? All right, let's continue on and see. Mateo is feeling nervous, maybe anxious, scared, worried, and possibly upset. Give a thumbs up if you've ever felt like Mateo. Hands up if you think being anxious is an uncomfortable feeling. Look around you and see how many of your classmates agree that this is an uncomfortable feeling. It's okay to feel anxious, but when you're really anxious, your body may feel uncomfortable. Mateo is feeling very uncomfortable. His hands are sweaty, his face is hot, and his heart is beating quickly. Think of a time that you felt really anxious. You don't need to share what happened, but remember the feelings you experienced. Raise your hand if you remember how your body felt, and keep your hand up if the signs we show are things you've experienced before. Raise your hand if you've ever had a hot face when you were anxious. What about a racing heart? Sweaty palms? An upset stomach? How about wobbly legs? You felt your feelings inside of your body. When you have strong feelings, it's hard for your brain to think. Let's imagine that your hand is a representation of your brain. Follow along with me. Imagine your hand is your brain. The thumb is like the feeling part of your brain. Your fingers are like the thinking part of your brain. Fold your thinking part of your brain over your feeling part. The thinking and feeling parts of the brain are always touching, but only the thinking part can manage or handle your feelings. It sits on top like a lid. When you feel really strong feelings, it's like you flip your lid. The feeling part of your brain takes over, and the thinking part isn't working. Pretend your hand is Mateo's brain. Right now, the feeling part of his brain is overflowing with anxious feelings, and the thinking part of his brain is losing control. He needs to focus his attention on his body for clues about how he's feeling. The uncomfortable feelings in Mateo's body are clues that the thinking part of his brain is losing control. When he starts to recognize how he's feeling, he's using the thinking part of his brain to help himself manage his feelings. In the next lesson, you'll learn what Mateo does to calm down and manage his feelings. Today, we learned what happens in our brain and our body when we have strong feelings. When you feel really strong feelings, the feeling part of your brain takes over and it's hard to think. It's like you flip your lid. Your body may also feel uncomfortable. You can focus your attention on your body for clues about how you feel. When you recognize your feelings, the thinking part of your brain can start to help manage those feelings. Today, you're going to take a moment to practice a reflecting activity to calm your thoughts and to work on your breathing to help your body feel better when uncomfortable feelings take over. All right. So today we're going to look at an activity for you that will be released here shortly. You are going to watch the mindfulness video on slide 1 in the link. On slide 3, we're going to reflect how we feel after completing the mindfulness exercise. So I'm going to play this video for us now. And as you are watching it, I want you to be thinking about what it's asking you to do, but also think about how your feelings changed. So right now, think about how you might be feeling. It's a new week of school starting. You just got done with a break. You got a full week ahead of you. How are you feeling? And we're going to watch this and then we'll describe how we feel after. Okay? All right, here we go.
Melting, melting, melting. We all have those moments when we freeze. We can't move. We can't think. But with practice, we can get good at melting that frozen feeling. Let's freeze up and then melt. Stand up in a spot with a little space around you. Cross your arms and hold your shoulders with your hands. Carefully tuck your chin down and in. Tighten as many muscles in your body as you can. Let your body be frozen, like an ice statue. Feet tight, legs tense, belly tight, shoulders up. Now, even make a frozen face. Close your eyes, your mouth, your jaw, tight. Feeling frozen? Really still? Now, little by little, begin to melt. Let your chin stay low as your face softens and melts. Your jaw opens slightly, your eyes blink open, just a little. Your mouth and cheeks melt and feel soft. You're melting. Let your shoulders melt and go down. Hands let go. Arms glide down to your sides, melting. Let your legs melt too. Soften and bend. Melt. Try to melt all the way to the floor. Down, down, down. Let yourself be a blob, a puddle on the floor. Melted all the way to soft. Exhale long. Once frozen and tight, and now melted, a little more at ease. Let's do it again. This time, choose your own frozen statue. Be creative. Freeze your arms. Freeze your legs. Freeze your face. Make a funny face if you'd like. Freeze there. Tighten. Freeze, freeze, freeze. You're frozen. Close your eyes or keep them open. Stay frozen for just one more moment. Ready to melt? One icy part of you at a time begins to melt. Face, eyes, jaw, head, chin goes down, shoulders drop, fingers soften and droop, hands too, arms float down. You are melting. Let your legs allow you to melt down to the floor. Melt, 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 droop, settle, and rest. Melted. Try to feel at ease here. Soft. Check in on your body. Is any area still frozen? Notice that tightness. Melt it if you wish. Rest here. Breathe. Eyes are open or closed. Next time you feel frozen, in your mind or in your body. Try to melt it away.
All right. So you were asked to consider how it is that you feel after completing an activity like this. So on Seesaw, in your response, you have use the label or microphone to describe how you feel, after completing the mindfulness exercises from the video. So I'm going to label how I feel. I feel more relaxed and focused on what I need to accomplish for the day. My body also feels more awake. A little bit sleepy before, but now I've got some blood flowing, but I stayed calm. So this is my feelings and how they changed for me. So that's what you will complete, okay? Tell how you feel after taking a few moments to be mindful, all right? So inside of your Seesaw activities, this is here for you. Go ahead and add a response and get ready to share how it is that you are feeling now that you've completed a mindfulness exercise. After you have completed your response of how you feel after taking a few minutes to practice mindfulness, go ahead and click on the check to turn that in. If you did not yet finish, click on that orange check and you can finish it during our work time for English language arts. Excuse me. All right, so next week we will take a look at how Mateo decides to handle his anxiousness. But this week, let's take some time to practice that mindfulness through breathing exercises and other ways we know that will help us to calm down.